Thanks for tuning in to Bourbon Drop. I'm your host, Myron. Today, we've got a bit of a 2-for-1. So we've got a bottle haul video, but I also wanted to include bottles that I just have to pick up because I felt like all of these bottles fit in that category. So I want you guys to put in the comments the bottles that you just have to pick up every time you see it in the store. I mean, you could either just like picking up backups all the time, or you could just know that every time that bottle runs out, I'm definitely going to replace it. The only bottle that doesn't fit in that category is this one right here. And I bought this because, believe it or not, as long as I've been drinking bourbon, I've never had Four Roses small batch. So this is actually going to be a replacement though, because one of the bottles that I do not have, I know I'm supposed to be replacing them. But the small batch select, the Four Roses small batch select with the brown label is, yeah, it's some of the best bourbon to me on the market, on the shelves. I mean, in that $60 category, you guys know my $60 monster, but that is one of the best. So anyway, let's get into the haul, and we'll also talk about the ones that we just have to replace. All right, so one that I have to replace, and I feel like a fool because I bought this today. And I shot the video last night trying to help you with your bourbon collection. I didn't have one, and I was like, why do I not have one? I need to have one. I talk about this bottle so much. This is my $60 monster. Shout out to S&W for having this thing for $49.99, man. That is ridiculous. And I'm going to get into why I was at S&W early this morning in a second. But this is one that I always have to have on the bar. It's got beautiful banana notes. It's got a little bit of char in the background, heavy vanilla. I mean, to me, at $60, 115 proof, that is one of the best buys out there. Now, this is the main reason why I went to S&W. This is their Elijah Craig single barrel pick. This thing is 3 days shy of 11 years old, man. So, you know, when Kevin put it out there on Facebook that he was finally releasing it, I was like, oh my gosh, you guys know how much I love Elijah Craig and Heaven Hill. I could not wait. So I was like, I will be there first thing in the morning to get my bottle. I was there along with some other guys, and it's a funny little story involved with that too. But this is a 10-year, and like I said, it's 3 days shy of being 11 years old, but this is a 10-year, 122.7 proof product. I cannot wait to see what that thing tastes like. S&W picks some great barrels, so I know that thing is going to be good. All right. Oh, so this is the funny story. So as I was getting my Elijah Craig, one of the guys who was there was like, man, look at this post. This guy posted that, you know, Virginia ABC has the stag picks that they're putting out today, because today was also the Virginia ABC's single barrel day. So they were dropping their single barrels. So I was like, you know, after I leave S&W, I'm headed straight to Virginia. So the guy has a picture of his chair there, and I'm like, people don't normally camp out for Virginia ABC single barrel day. Does he know something I don't? It's raining outside. I'm like, man, I said, you know what? I'm gonna take my chances. I get there. The dude was just messing with everybody. Yes, it was a little bit of a dick move, but I've done the same thing. I was at a drop one time, and I was like, yeah, man, they just dropped a whole case of Old Fitz on the floor. So you know what? Karma comes back to bite you. I only drove like an extra 15 to 20 minutes out of my way because I was going to go to another store, but I thought that was a funny story to share. Anyway, let's get back to the bag. So this right here, you guys know how big of a fan I am of Jack Daniel single barrel proof and the Jack Daniel single barrel proof rye. I'm always going to pick this up. Same with the Elijah Craig. When I see an Elijah Craig single barrel, unless I have a ton of them in here, which I normally do, I am going to pick it up. But I had to pick this one up because it comes in at 137.3 proof. So that thing is high. I know, shout out to Brad for helping me get the one that's 139. But when I see them that high, I just got to pick it up no matter how many I got. And I got a 133, a 139, no, 134, 139. I still pick this thing up. All right, now to stay on the JD train, whenever I get low and I see these over 130, I'm always going to pick up the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, because lately I haven't been seeing them over 130. When I see them at 130, that seems to be that sweet mark. They are still good below 130, but man, anything over 130 just seems to be incredible. Now I have to eat my words, because guess what? I poured this thing up. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It is not bad. But it is hot. Like hot. Like it's 130 drinks like 140, 150. it still has all of those great JD notes underneath of everything, but the heat is killing me on this thing, man. It is heat and char and like caramel and butterscotch like underneath of it. You have to take like the tiniest sips, and I don't know why this thing drinks so hot. Is this the last bottle in the bag? Yeah, this might be the last bottle in the bag. So I think this is going to complete the haul before we get to the other bottles. So while I was at that Virginia ABC, like I said, it was single barrel day, but this one doesn't have a sticker on it. They did have a bottled in bond that had the Virginia Lovers or Pick for Virginia Lovers, something like that sticker. I have had a regular 1792, and I've had 2 of the Virginia ABC picks. All 3 of those were delicious, so I don't expect anything different from this. I like this bottle so much that every time I see one, I'm pretty much going to pick it up. Unless I got 2, 3, or 4 at home, and I'm like, okay, there's no need for me to back them up that deep. But every time I see one, I'm going to pick them up. Now, they're becoming a little easier for me to get, especially since Virginia ABC does, their single barrel drops. So since a lot of people don't attack the single barrel drops, there are good chances that I'm going to get my hands on a 1792 foolproof. Let's get the bag off the table and get into the bottles that if I see them, I'm going to pick them up. 1, Eagle Rare. The Virginia ABC just releases these on their normal drops. They don't have any special barrel release programs or barrel pick programs. These are normally on their regular drops with regular blends and everything else. When I see these, if I'm so far back in line, I'm just going to grab one. Because not only are they cheap, but they're good. I mean, $42, they used to be $37.99. I think they're like $42.99. But to me, this is one of the best 90 proof pours out there. Next on the list, this and OF 100. So Old Forester 86 is slowly becoming one of my favorites, man. It is a do-it-all. Like, I don't drink a lot of cocktails, but I'm pretty sure it would hold up well in a cocktail. Also, it's not gonna hit your head. So it's not gonna hit your pockets and it's not gonna hit your head. If you just wanna sip something while you're doing something, it's not gonna get your mind out of what you need to be doing. Next up on the list, I always have to pick up one of these. So I don't see them all the time. That's why, and they're good. I don't see them all the time. I should have just called this like the Brown Foreman table, but I don't see them all the time. So when I do see them, I generally pick them up. Now, right now, I think BK Miller has a pick out. I am not going to pick that one up because I have this one, and then I have probably about this much and this much in 2 other bottles that I have. So there's no need for me to have another one. Last bottle up, man, and this bottle right here, I shot the review. I have not released it yet. This is the Rye 3 16-year light whiskey. Shout out again to Kevin at S&W. I gave him a sample today. I told him, tell me what you think, because this thing is amazing. Every time I see one, I just have to pick it up. I mean, it is that good. Look, let me show you something. So I go to Drug City. I pick up the one at 68.6. I did have the one at 69.6 sitting right here. It's actually right here. And I had to pick this one up. And I had to try both of them. But believe it or not, the one that's 68.6 to me, I mean, it's very, very, there's a very slight difference. But the 68.6 one is just better. So I want you guys to put in the comments bottles that you just have to have whenever you're running low, or bottles that you just like to back up. And with that being said, let the whiskey flow. Never run out unless you're headed to a drop. Till next time.